Hey all, let's do this real quick. Let's go over the homework. So let me pop up the homework assignment real quick. Let's see, I put it right there. All right, so create 7 different primitives of your choice. Bend one at 30 degrees, bend or twist another 180 degrees. Min taper one, one object with 2 modifiers, one object with any 2 modifiers, so 2 objects with 2 modifiers. I separated it so we knew. And one object with 3 modifiers, and then melt another object. So right now, let me pull these out here. Do it this way. Right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's do a teapot for fun. And then let's do a tube. And you can use any objects you want. Okay. So name all your objects, what they look like to you, and then put them in the layer. So I'm just going to start with the 3 top ones here. I'm going to take, let's take this one, and I'll come to the modify menu, and I will bend it. And I will add a bend. So I'll go here and go B, or I can just go down to bend, and then I will try and bend it, and it bends like that. And then I will take another one and twist it. So let's see what happens when you twist a torus. It's an interesting one. T, twist down here. Let's see what happens. Maybe a different direction. There we go. Whee! Let's see what this one does. It's the same thing, just different direction. Do a bias on it or something. Okay. And then the next one is a taper, and let's taper this tube. So I'll come here, I'll say T, it should be the first one, I'll click OK, and then I'll taper it out. Maybe like this. Okay. So we've got our 3 things. Let me move them forward out here so they're in front. There's this one, there's this one, and then I'll put these in the back real quick. Actually, we'll just line them all up in a row. Okay. So I've got my 3. To me, this looks like a, I don't know. I'm going to name it. What we're going to do is name it what we think it kind of looks like. And to me, it looks like a funnel of sorts. And this one looks like a broken spring. So we're going to call this broken spring. And this one looks like a L joint, which is a tube, or we'll call this a bent tube. Oh, that's almost too easy, but let's call it a slinky. Looks kind of like a slinky. There's no right or wrong answers here. All right, those are the 3 names I gave those. So now that's the next thing. It said add with any 2 modifiers. So let's do a twist on this one. And you can use different ones if you want to search through here and find some cool ones. Let's do a twist, which doesn't look like it does much. So let's do a different one first. Let's do a bend first. It does that. Yeah. And then we'll see what a twist does. I don't know what I'm going to get out of this, but let's find out. Twist. There. So I got a twist and a bend on it. And to me, that looks like a snowball. Well, a red snowball, but a rock. Let's call it a rock. And this one right here, any 2 modifiers. So we used bend and twist. Let's use taper and twist this time. So T. And don't forget the order you do them in, the difference you're going to get. So I'll taper it this way. And there's no subdivisions, as we remember. We can always go back down and add more. Like this. Okay. And then taper. You can change where it's tapering and all that stuff. So, you know, whatever you want to do. Okay, and then we'll do, I said twist, let's try twist. Or let's try bend. You can do different ones. I'm just doing the easiest ones to get this so you don't have to watch it for hours. There. So now it's kind of whacked. Here, try not to get that collapse inside of there. So what if I did it negative? That looks like a Dr. Seuss building. Dr. Seuss build. We'll call it that. All right. Again, there's no wrong answers. I just want you to look at something you've made and try and come up with what it looks like. Now, this one needs 3 modifiers. So we'll do taper like this, and then we'll do twist. Like this, which kind of now looks like a witch's hat. And then bend. Or a pilgrim hat or something creepy, something crazy. Let me see. There. I'm going to say that looks like some kind of hat. Which leaves our last thing we have to do, which is melt. So I'm going to grab this guy. I'll move him all the way down here so he's in the same order. And then I will add melt. There's melt, and I'll just melt it down pretty good. And that looks I'm going to call that goop or goo. Yeah, goo. Goo's fine. We'll just call it goo. Okay, so next thing you have to do is take these into your layers, and we're going to name our layers. Now that we've named the object, we're going to name the layers either the name of the modifier we used on it, or we're going to name it multi-modifier. So I'm going to open this up so we can see this. I'm going to go to my layers. I'm going to take this, and you can see right now everything's inside of this one layer. And pull this out there. All I want to do is grab broken spring, which has the twist on it, and push a plus here and name this twist. Like that. And then I'm going to open this one and go to the funnel, and this one has a taper on it, so I'm going to say plus and say taper. And then I'm going to go to the bend, and I'm going to say plus and add a bend to the name. And then I'm going to go to, let's say, everything else, because there's 2 or 3 modifiers on everything else, right? Or at least there's 2. Like this, and I'm going to say plus, and we're going to say, oops. There we go. I'm going to name this multi-modifier. Oops. Modifier. I can't see. I think that's wrong. But anyway, and then we're going to say, go to this goo thing right here because we only have one. There's only one modifier on this. So I'm going to say plus. I'm going to name this one melt. Like that. And now if I look at all my modifiers, if I just hide everything inside of them, I have 4 folders, one with, actually I should have more than 4. I think I put, okay, so if by chance, yeah, bend went inside of taper. So all I have to do is drag bend outside of taper down here, and now I have my 5th one. So if you by accident put one inside of another folder, that's fine. So here's bend, here's melt, here's multiply, and that's it. That's all you had to do. Save your file, save it with your first initial last name and modifiers, and the name convention we talked about, and check it in, and then you're done.